The ARB 50 quart fridge freezer is for those of you that have a 1987 all the way up through the most current model year Wrangler that are looking for a way to keep things cold in your Jeep without having to keep ice on hand all the time. This may look like a cooler, but it is so much more. This is actually a refrigerator that can also be used as a freezer, and it works off the 12-volt system that's already in your Jeep and has a very low power consumption. So if you do an overland style of off-roading, if you do some camping with your Jeep, or maybe you just spend a lot of time on the trail and you don't want to have to worry about ice all the time. Even the best coolers can keep ice for only a few days. This thing will stay cold indefinitely as long as you keep your battery charged up. But again, this is going to have a very low power draw. It's actually very smart in that it will adjust its power draw if you start to lose power from your battery. And of course, you can just fire up the vehicle, charge the battery, and keep the freezer running. This is going to be something that installs very, very easily, 1 out of 3 wrenches. In fact, not much of an installation at all. You really just set it in place and plug it in. This can be plugged into 120 volt if you are somewhere that has regular outlet power, but also of course does work off of that 12 volt in your Jeep. Now there are some accessories that you can get with this thing to strap it down so it doesn't bounce around on the trails. There are some slide outs that you can put underneath of it so that you can more easily access the fridge freezer. But as far as just this unit, just the piece that we're talking about today, again, a very easy install. You just drop it in place. So this is the 50 quart version of this freezer. There's also a slightly smaller version that's going to be a little bit less expensive if you can get away with a little bit less size. It takes up less room and is also, like I said, going to be a little bit less expensive. This is going to be a little larger, has more capacity, takes up a little bit more space in your Jeep, and is going to be a little bit pricier, but there aren't a lot of options out there that are similar to this, that are going to be the same quality as this, that are going to have as low a power draw as this one has, and is also going to be as smart as this one is to not kill your battery. If you're looking for a fridge freezer for your Jeep, there really isn't anything negative I have to say about this thing, other than it has a little bit of a high price tag, but it's incredibly well designed, very, very well built, and will do exactly what it's supposed to do. So this has a easy locking lid here, so you can pop that open to gain access into the fridge freezer here. It has an LED light built onto the inside of it. It actually has a hinge that is designed so that you can very easily completely remove the lid if you need to. So again, just to gain even easier access. It has built-in handles. It's incredibly lightweight for what it is. It does have a couple of vents down here. They're going to be used for the actual refrigeration. So you do have to give those a little bit of space so you can get some airflow around them. But other than that, you can really just throw this in the back of your Jeep and plug it in. Right up here is where you have all of your controls. Of course, you have your power, you have your ways to adjust the temperature on the inside of this thing, but that's also where you'll have access to the smart part of this fridge freezer, and that is what's going to ensure that this isn't going to kill your battery. So if it's overnight, if you go out for a hike, you leave this plugged into your Jeep, you're gone longer than you think, and it starts to draw that battery down. This can actually adjust the temperature or turn itself off so that it doesn't completely kill your battery and you still have enough juice to start up the Jeep and have everything recharged from the alternator. So again, it's going to draw very little power while it's running. It's going to be smart, so if you do leave it, it's not going to kill your battery. It's going to have great capacity on the inside. There's no metal here. There's nothing that's going to rust or corrode over time. So this is something that's going to be a long-lasting investment for you. And as I said, if you're doing that overland style of wheeling, if you are somebody who does a lot of camping in your Jeep, you don't have to worry about ice. This is a great option. So as I mentioned before, not really an installation at all here. You just drop this into place in the cargo space in your Jeep and you plug it into a 12-volt outlet. You'll make your selections on the button panel on the front here for what temperature you want to set this at and at what amperage or voltage, I should say, that you want it to shut itself off just in case it does start to overdraw the battery. And that's it. You just throw your stuff in there and let it cool. The good thing about it is because it does have a 120 volt outlet, if you're getting yourself ready for a trip, you can plug this in your house, let it get nice and cold, let it do all of that hard work, then pick it up, set it in the Jeep, and just plug it into the 12 volts to maintain that already cooled temperature. So really, really well thought out piece here. So like I said, not a lot of installation, just drop it into place and plug it in. This 50 quart version of the ARB fridge freezer comes in at right around $900, and that is a lot of money, but if you consider what some of those coolers that are keeping ice for a few days are costing you, it's really not that much more. And you don't have to worry about any ice, you don't have to worry about any day or hour restrictions with this. This is gonna keep stuff cold. As long as you still have the ability to start up your Jeep, the alternator will charge the battery, and this will keep running indefinitely. So in my opinion, if you're looking at making an investment in one of those large coolers that's gonna keep ice for a couple of days, you're looking to spend hundreds of dollars anyway, this is going to be a very good alternative. So if you do that overland style of wheeling, or you do some camping with your Jeep, you don't want to worry about having to keep ice and you want to keep your stuff cold and fresh, this is going to be an excellent choice for you from ARB, and you can find it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.